listening to the Sportz Nutz.
Ooh, welcome to the Sportz Nutz, episode 144. We hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. Happy belated Labor Day weekend to everybody. We hope you had a fantastic Labor Day. I got to tell you guys, I'm still having a little trouble. I thought today was Monday. What about you, Matt?
Oh, man, thought today was just a day, man. They're starting to bleed together now.
They're all blending together, right?
But I mean, it should be. Things should hopefully slow down for me soon. But yeah, man, just kind of got to shake off college football this past weekend. I'm ready for them big boys in the NFL this weekend.
Yes, I mean, come on, guys. Let's just be all excited at the fact that y'all, it's football. Let's go. Hey, my man below me, guys, I got to spend a nice little afternoon with him on Saturday, man. Shane, what's going on with you, man?
Is that date night?
What?
No. We had a football kickoff, a little festival. We get together for my birthday.
Okay.
Brandon and his family, they went up to Jeter Mountain, which is 20 minutes from the house.
If that even.
Yeah, but so I made a deal with them. I said I'll take an apple donut. And y'all can come on over and, enjoy some time. The kids are all running around, had some wings, some appetizers, little finger foods. But man, I had the smoker outside going, TV outside, enjoying the nice mid-70s mountain weather.
Oh my God, it was amazing outside. The temperature. Woof.
So yeah, I had a good time, but man, it did kind of feel like a Monday. But man, it's kicking off to a great start, at least to the week. Great game last night, you could say in one way. In others,
I won't go too far.
In others, they wouldn't think so either. That it was good at all. Which I'm on the latter part of that. I kind of fell asleep early because of it. But man,
you didn't miss much.
Yeah, great to be here, and man, congratulations to all three of us for that goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, what Shane is talking about, folks, we officially, y'all, hit the 2,500 mark. Yes, officially right now we're at 2,571 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate it, subscribing. It shows that you care about what we do. It means a lot to us. Real quick, let you guys know, if you are listening in Texas on 95.5 KFCE, we appreciate you. Give us a shout out if you can on the stream. Also on TigerNation.live. Remember, we are there every day, Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. We are on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. You name it, we're on every single platform there is. Real quick, let you guys know, we have an absolute jam-packed episode. We have a very good friend of ours who is joining the show tonight to talk. What else? It's sports talk. Let's get it going. His name is Ralph of RW Media. Yeah, he's going to join us. But let you guys know also, tomorrow is episode 2 of Money Lines. Can't wait to get going on that one. Then Friday, y'all, we will have this is going to be absolutely amazing because it's basically week 3 in theoretical terms for college football. And we're going to have a lot of things to talk about on Friday. And then following Tuesday the 9th, Mr. Invincible himself, Vince Papali, is going to join the show. Yes, remember we had to reschedule them. It has been confirmed. There I know he had said there wasn't going to be an episode on September 12th. However, there might be a possibility. UC Irvine has been in communications with us. It's both them and another school, but it's not locked in stone. It might change. I told them that was the days, but let me know. So I'll hear from Stacy momentarily, I'm sure, and she'll let us know what's the best day for her. But regardless, Tuesday, September the 16th, y'all, University of Wisconsin Whitewater, the head football coach, is going to join our show to talk about what it's like to be a perennial D3 powerhouse football program. And then, as you guys know, Wednesday, September the 17th, is Money Lines episode 3. Friday the 19th is a rescheduled date. We had the Morehead City Marlins, the Collegiate Summer Baseball League team, is going to join us. And then Tuesday, September 23rd, the Augusta Pro Hockey team, which is 4 owners. All 4 are slated, which one of them is, Shane, just quickly remind everybody, who is that fourth covenant owner that very well could be on the show at the same time? Our God is an awesome God. Oh, you're muted, Shane.
Yeah, he played a little bit in the minors down for the Fireflies there in Columbia. So I'd say he knows the area pretty well. But Mr. 15 in the book, but number 1 in your hearts, Mr. Timmy Tebow.
That's right. Tim Tebow might be coming on where I'm talking to the owners. I'm hoping to get him all on there. But it's going to be a really good episode. And then finally, last but not least, Tuesday, September 30th, the Kentucky Barrels Arena football team. Yes, they're going to join our show. Their season is slated to start in 2026, and we can't wait to have them on. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody all around, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Ralph, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
How you doing, man? It's great to be here, Matt, Shane, Brendan. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem.
We appreciate you coming on. It means the world to us, I mean, like, you and I talk all the time. It's nice to see everybody get a chance to grow. We're all one big family, and that's all that really matters is we're family, you know?
Yeah, that's what it's all about, Brandon. It's a whole different ballgame than in some other media things that you and I discussed today. That I'm not going to go into here because we got a big agenda here on the show. So, but I will say I've been in the media business a long time, and I've seen it, and I've been involved in it, and I'm living it too. But I mean, I'm living it because I like what I'm doing here, and I do have 2 radio shows up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on 1250 a.m. The Answer. I do a sports radio show on Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. with myself, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, and Luther Dupree. And we talk about Steelers and Pittsburgh sports. And also I have another show that I do, it's a local show in Pittsburgh. It's general talk. We talk about the city in Western Pennsylvania and things like that up there. Because that's where I'm originally from. I currently live in Berlin, Maryland, outside of Ocean City. So,
okay. But, well, Rob, I'm so honored that I get to have you on, man. I love your content.
To be here.
Guys, if you get the opportunity, please check out his content. Ralph has got some absolute amazing content. You get a fresh perspective from somebody else, and especially in the northern region. He's got a lot of good stuff to talk about. I'm really excited to have you on. I got to say this, Ralph. Welcome back, football.
Absolutely.
We can all say, really, sports in general. Remember, everybody does, if you don't know this, it is an actual dead zone. We're kind of about to end that dead zone. We're only a couple of weeks away from literally every sport there is taking off. Amen to that one. But, let's just sit there and say this, Ralph, for a second. The NFL starts this week. Can you agree this is a better time than anything because football's back. We're about to have basketball. We have college football going into it.
Baseball starting to weed out. Hockey's getting started. NHL. I had a guy on today who reports for the Post-Gazette on my Sports Corner show earlier at 4:00 to talk about the Pittsburgh Penguins, and hockey's getting started. A lot of people don't realize that. NBA, you're right, Brandon. Everything is starting all at one time, and it's all in one season, or one, part of the year. I mean, in the summertime, you have baseball, you have UFL, you have tennis, you have car racing, golf, and all that stuff, and the horses and all that stuff. So, but then when football time is around, college and pro, that's it, man. That is it. That's the big money maker right there.
It is like heaven on earth, right?
Yes, it is. It is in heaven. I love when the NFL season starts. I even like the preseason, believe it or not. I want to look at draft picks and rookies. I want to see what we have, what the Steelers have or what any team has. You know what I mean? And I also look out for the hometown University of Pittsburgh. I look to see who made teams and who didn't, and that kind of thing. That's what's good about that stuff. So
it feels refreshing. Just football, to smell the grass, hear the helmets, the pads clapping. Oh man, it's just amazing. And I for one, I've told this to so many people.
And even high school, Brandon. I mean, even high school. I mean, high school football is big in Western Pennsylvania. I mean, it's huge. Some of the best athletes in the NFL came out of Western Pennsylvania. Dan Marino, Bill Fralick. I can name you a whole bunch of guys. Todd Blackledge wasn't that great, but I mean, he came out of Penn State. I mean, between Pitt and Penn State alone, and some of West Virginia, Major Harris. I can name you a whole bunch of guys that came out of Western Pennsylvania and the upper part of West Virginia and parts of Ohio. Some great athletes. Florida as well is also great for college recruiting. They have some great athletes there too. So, I got to say this, and there's a name you probably know very well. Natron Means. Matt knows this name very well, don't you, Matt? Natron Means. Yeah, I remember him.
Oh man, he was a beast mode 24/7 when he played. And we just all aged ourselves like 10 years right there, folks. But we're just saying, Shane, look, by the way, Rafe, I got to let you know, Shane is the baby of the entire group. So don't mind the fact that, he's still in diaper. I'm just kidding.
No, not quite that young.
Shane, go ahead.
I know I've heard of Shane through some circles here, and y'all
must have run out of anything.
I happen to not know somebody, but I've interacted with them, but I don't interact with them anymore. And I think Shane has a pretty good idea who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We'll leave it off.
Oh, yeah. Well, as Brandon mentioned, the NFL is starting up this Thursday night with the Cowboys and the Eagles kicking it off. And then Friday on YouTube for the first time for everyone out there, the annual Brazil game is kicking off down there between the Chargers and the Chiefs. But man, it's been a crazy off season. And as it's been that way, what are kind of your biggest storylines that you're looking into through coming into this big week one of the NFL season?
I'm interested, Shane, to see these new coaches. I'm interested to see what some of them are going to do. I mean, Steelers are playing Aaron Glenn and the Jets this week. Brand new coach. Kellen Moore down in the Saints. That's a dumpster fire. Okay, you got Brian Schottenheimer down in Dallas. I'm interested to see what's going to happen between him and Jerry Jones. I'm looking at these new coaches, and I'm also looking at the ones that are on eggshells, and there's a bunch of them. You got I'm hearing now Mike McDaniel's on the eggshells down there in Miami. Jacksonville, Liam Cohen. I'm interested to see what he's going to do with Trevor Lawrence there. Those are my two things that I'm looking at this year: the coaches on eggshells and the ones that are brand new coaches and what they're going to do. Again, I feel bad for Kellen Moore. I would have never took that job with New Orleans. That's a complete dumpster fire down there. It's a mess. I would have never took that job. Dave Canellis, I would have took that job with Carolina Panthers. And let me share something with you about Dave Tepper, the owner of Carolina. Guess where he got his degree at? His college degree. Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh. If you go to Pittsburgh and you ever go to Carnegie Mellon University, there's about 10 buildings with his name on it. Tepper School of Technology, Tepper Bathrooms, Tepper Field, Tepper this, Tepper that. It's all over Carnegie Mellon University. Here's a guy that's educated and you don't know how to run his football team. Or own his football
Does he have
team.
Do they have the Tepper hats there as well?
Yeah, there's Tepper hats. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like, I used the bathroom as a joke, but Tepper, his name's all over the place over there. Buildings galore. But that's Shane. If you ask me the two things I'm looking at, the coaches that are on eggshells and the new ones, that's what I'm interested to see this year. What some of these new coaches are going to do. I'm very curious. Mike Vrabel with the New England Patriots. Some people are saying he could have a good season this year. I think he might. He's got Josh McDaniel as his offensive coordinator, and I always call Josh McDaniel Josh McDummo when he was a head coach because he stinks as a head coach. But he's a good offensive coordinator. All right, and I've always said this, and I use this term: some people can bake a cake, and some people can't. Some people can be coordinators, and some people can be head coaches, and it's in both college and pros.
Yeah, so, can't stand that pressure on his back. I think once he's just a coordinator, it just kind of Just kind of frees him up,
Yeah.
and then he's a genius.
Well, how about Dennis Allen? I mean, he stinks as a head coach, and now he's a defensive coordinator with Chicago under Ben Johnson. So, I mean, and Dennis Allen is a very good defensive coordinator. I mean,
Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia, what he's
with
doing
Ohio
at Ohio
State.
State.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, Shane. Absolutely. And I agree wholeheartedly the fact that, some of these coaches are like that. I mean, guys can be head coaches. Dave Wannstedt was never really a good NFL coach. He was a good NFL assistant. And when he came to Pitt as a head coach, one problem with Wannstedt is he always tries to shove a square peg into a round hole. And that was his downfall as a coach, even in college. I mean, but there's a lot of those are the two main things I think, Shane. I think we have to take a look at both the new coaches and the ones that are on eggshells. And there are a few of them. And one name I want to bring up, Raheem Morris.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you said that.
It might sound strange, but I'm hearing if Michael Penix doesn't at least do something this year, or this team doesn't do something, Atlanta might fire him because he was the one that wanted Michael Penix. And then on top of that, you got Kirk Cousins there with that big contract. Hey, don't we wish we had his agent? Think about that.
Yes. Come on now. Come on now. Man, I get a amen on that one. Come on. Matt.
Yes.
Go ahead, Matt.
Oh, yeah, most definitely agent of the year. Ralph, man, thanks for coming on with us, man. We really appreciate it, man. Glad to have you here with us. I noticed you said that you kind of mainly follow all sports, but Pittsburgh is kind of, where you're at.
That's my hometown. That's where I'm from.
Gotcha.
I have to go back there, believe it or not, quick in September. I have bad cataracts. That's why I wear these sunglasses. Okay. I have a real bad cataract in my right eye, and I can't see out of it real good. And I have to go up there for medical treatment. I currently now live outside of Ocean City, Maryland. I moved down here.
Okay. So. Gotcha. I just kind of want to highlight a move that was made this offseason by the Steelers organization. It's a move that I feel is very underrated, and it's not getting a lot of pub, and I don't know why. But you guys acquired DK Metcalf. Right. Kind of give us what's the consensus around that area about acquiring that talent, and also let us know what do you think he's going to bring to that offense, and will it be something that you guys have never seen before, or will it be something that you guys feel is just kind of going to be mediocre?
I think he's going to bring Matt a lot to the game. He's going to bring a lot to the Steelers offense. Okay, but the problem is he has, I would say I wouldn't say mediocre, but a reasonable supporting cast. They just gave Jaylen Warren a brand new contract today, and he's an unproven starting running back. Okay, the running game's got to set up the play action. You know that. We don't have a really good second receiver behind him. We got rid of George Pickens because he was an attitude problem. Okay, and he's with Dallas now, so we'll see what he does down there. That's another thing I'm interested in, to see what he does down there. We'll find out Thursday.
Sure.
I believe, Matt, that DK Metcalf can offer a lot to the Steelers. We have Jonnu Smith from Miami we traded for, got rid of Minkah Fitzpatrick, and brought in Jalen Ramsey. All right, I think that the offense is going to be better if Rodgers stays healthy. Aaron Rodgers stays healthy. DK Metcalf, if we can get the ball to him. The problem we're having is if he gets double and triple teamed, Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator, is going to have to go with a 3 tight end set because we don't have the receivers to back him up. We don't have a second threat. When Schuster was hurt, Juju Smith-Schuster was hurt, and we had Chase Claypool. Claypool ended up having a good year because Schuster was hurt, and then when Schuster came back, everybody double-teamed him, and Claypool had a good year. So, I mean, the Steelers should have went out and got somebody to complement DK Metcalf. There were a bunch of guys sitting out there. There were a bunch of guys at running back. They could have brought in Nick Chubb, okay, and he ended up at Houston, okay, instead of Jaylen Warren. I don't have a problem with Jaylen Warren. The problem I have is he's untested at starting running back. That's the problem I have with this guy. I mean, he's great at third down because that's where he was when Najee Harris was running the ball. He spelled him off. My question is, can he do the workload? And we got a rookie in Khalib Johnson, who I said they were going to draft, and they did. and we got Kenneth Gainwell from the Eagles. And Gainwell's a good running back. Don't spell him short. The only reason he didn't run that much was because of Barkley being there in Philly, you know. So the answer to your question is I think DK Metcalf can bring a lot. But the question is they don't have anybody behind him other than Jonnu Smith and some tight ends and maybe, you know, some play action in the running game. Something's got to give because we don't really have a true, really good second receiver behind him. You know, we have a bunch of mash cases. What I call an injury-prone athlete is a mash case because, you know, it's Calvin Austin, fast, short guy, great speed, gets the ball, can run, but hurt every time. I mean, you know, we just got a lot of mash guys. And when you have those kind of guys, you know, it's not looking good for the Steelers with that. Those are the key ingredients right there, Matt. The fact that Rodgers has to stay healthy. Not that I don't trust Mason Rudolph, but I like Rodgers stays healthy. Jalen Warren can get going in the running game, and the line can protect Rodgers, and DK Metcalf, you know, can get some catches. Jonnu Smith is there. We got Pat Freiermuth back, so we'll see what happens. You know, we have the highest paid defense in the league, so let's see what the defense does too. So
you hit the nail on the head, absolutely. You know, Ralph, week 1 of college, well, technically it's week 2. You want to count week 0. Week 1 of the college football landscape really has come and gone. We did see some pretty big upsets. We saw some actual major blowouts. Which game or games, which ones stood out to you most?
You know what? I was wrong, and I'm not wrong too often. I thought Florida State was going to lose, and they won. I thought Miami was going to lose, and they won. Okay? I was wrong on both of those, and when I'm wrong, I'll come out and say I'm wrong. But I was not wrong to say that North Carolina got beat, and I love it.
Woo! Boy, did they get a spanking.
That was a mollywhopping.
That was beyond a mollywhopping.
I said that was a mollywhopping.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes. And, you know, so you ever watch the movie Caddyshack? And, you know, when Ted Knight says to Chevy Chase, some people simply do not belong. Well, Bill Belichick doesn't belong in college football. He's had it with he was with the pros all these years. You know, he did his thing, won his Super Bowls. You know, I don't think he belongs. That's just
he looked like a duck out of water is what it looked like to me.
Yes, exactly.
He's bored. He's bored.
Yeah.
That's how I see. He's just bored.
Pete Carroll's bored too, man. He's coaching again down with the Raiders, and that's a dumpster fire too.
Well, hey, Belichick could have been coaching the Falcons. A couple seasons ago.
God, he did.
He almost was this close.
A lot of places he could have went. Yes. Yeah. I heard next year he's going to coach the Mean Machine. So we'll see.
Just put Bill Goldberg right there, right?
What's that?
Just put Bill Goldberg there too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Machine. Well, you know, as you mentioned just a second ago, you touched on it. Highest paid defense in the league. Still got one guy out there that Tomlin's, you know, hopefully he's going to play, although he's in a little bit of a dispute. And, you know, if he does play, he's I believe he's won Man of the Year before, but, I mean, he is a true team player if he does play. But what are your thoughts on the whole Cameron Hayward situation there?
Well, Shane, if you ask my opinion, I think the Steelers should have traded both him and Boswell when they were crying about their contracts. They just signed these deals 2 years ago. Not even that. Hayward signed his last year. Boswell signed his 2 years ago. Okay? Work with your contract. Then we'll talk. That's my opinion when it comes to contracts. Okay? Just like TJ Watt. I get it. He's a great linebacker. I get that. Okay? But he's winding down to the end of his career practically, almost, okay? And you're going to give him all that money, and he still had 1 year left on his contract, and he's been injured just about every year since he's played, okay? We have Highsmith that's overpaid. I mean, I'm talking about the Steelers have this bad habit of signing guys that are injured too much, and I get they do what they do for the team, but you know what? You could have took Cam Hayward, you could have took Chris Boswell, and you could have packaged the deal somewhere, got a second receiver, number one, got some draft picks to stack up for next year, because Pittsburgh's hosting the draft. And then what you could have done was you could have went out and you could have kept Ben Sauls, who was the rookie kicker from Pitt, who broke NCAA records in kicking last year for Pitt. Okay, you could have kept him on the team because he's just as good as Boswell, and you could have saved a ton of money and got rid of Cam Hay. I like Cam Hayward. He's done a lot for the community. Met the man, very nice, personal, very nice guy, good with the community. But you know what? He was rewarded his contract when he wanted it 2 years ago, Shane. And now he's crying wolf. He wants more money. And now he's threatening to sit out this game, I guess. I don't know. He says he may or may not play. He don't even know. Okay? Steelers can't have those kinds of distractions, Shane, because we're trying – Mike Tomlin's trying to win a Super Bowl because I'm predicting that he will retire after this contract. I think this is his last contract. He'll get his 20 years, and he'll be done. He'll move on. I don't care where he goes. You know what I mean? I've called him mediocre Mike for many years. I know everybody out here thinks he's the greatest coach in the world. How can you be the greatest coach in the world when you don't go to the Super Bowl? Okay? It's that simple. And he hasn't won a playoff game since 2016. All right? And I don't care how many winning records he's had, 9 and 8 seasons. I could care less. All right? It's all about winning the Super Bowl. Bill Cowher once said, if you're not in it to win the Super Bowl, you need to get out of it. And that's exactly what everyone their goal should be to win, you know. And I said this today on my wrestling show. If you're not into wrestling to win a championship, you shouldn't be in wrestling. If you're not into the NFL to win a Super Bowl, you shouldn't be in it shouldn't be in the NFL. If you're not a coach in college football to win the national championship, forget it. You know, that's you know. But Cam Hayward, again, I like the guy. He's done a lot for the Steelers. Steelers gave him a lot of money, and now all of a sudden he wants more. And it's just, you know, and I knew it was going to happen, Shane, when they signed T.J. Watt. I knew it. Other players were going to say, "Oh, I want more money," or "We need," you know, why is he getting more than me? You know, that kind of thing. You know, and what they paid DK Metcalf to come here, as well as to trade, plus, you know, sign him to a contract. I don't blame Cam for being angry, but you know what? Play out your contract, then we'll talk. Because how do I know you're not going to get hurt? How do I know TJ Watt's not going to be done for the year? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know,
absolutely right.
You've seen it over the course of his career, him and his brother, how many times they have been hurt. You know, JJ Watt quit or retired early because, you know, he was always hurt, you see. So, I mean, and the lifespan of an NFL player anymore is what, 10 years, 12 years maybe at the most, okay? And I get Cam's trying to win a Super Bowl, but he's not going to win it with the Steelers and Mike Tomlin. I've said this 1,000 times already. This team will never win a Super Bowl with Mike Tomlin. Never again. I'm sorry. And the only reason he did win the one he won, he had Bill Cowher's players. So think about that for a minute.
That's absolutely true. You know, Matt, go ahead.
Very, very true. I want to go back and touch on college football for a second.
Go ahead.
Before week one, man, for the last few weeks, actually, you know, it's been shoved down our throats that the consensus Heisman winner would be Arch Manning. After the performance that you saw against Ohio State, man, tell us, was that just a microcosm of how good Ohio State's defense is? They are the national champions. Or was that just Arch having a bad game and you think he'll bounce back next week?
I think Arch will bounce back next week, man. It was just a bad game. He was going up against a good defensive coach in Matt Patricia. Now, here we are again.
Yes.
What I said before, some people can bake a cake and some people can't. Matt Patricia might have had some bad luck in the NFL after New England, okay, and whatever he, you know, in what he was doing. But I think he found his calling right now. And what I saw from that Ohio State defense, you know, if the offense don't move the ball, at least you know the defense will keep them in check.
Oh yeah,
so,
that's even after what they lost from last year's team.
Yes, exactly.
That's the big key to it too.
That's crazy.
Yes, yeah,
they look like a stifling defense. They look absolutely like you can't. Because I mean, think about it. They held them to 7 points the entire game.
They looked like an NFL
really
team.
impressive.
That's what they look. They look like an NFL team.
Yeah, they did. They absolutely did. They look like
I think it's one game right now, Matt. We have to really take a look at the fact that it's one game. You can't judge everything on one game. You have a whole season. You have, 12 games, 13 games if you go to a bowl game. So let's see what Arch Manning does when he needs to win a game, when he needs to do some thinking, when his talent's not working for him, or the other players, and he has to make decisions. Let's see what Arch Manning does. Let's see what happens.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head.
It's
you're
one
right.
game.
Like, what do we do? What we can't judge an entire season off of one appearance. I mean, it's
On one appearance, absolutely. Yeah.
He hasn't played anybody else. He's only played literally one of the toughest defense that there is. You still have another 11 games to go, so it's up for debate as to what can happen. And I'm not totally sold yet. Matt's mentioned it a couple times in our show that the Saints are going to tank for him because Archie Manning was his grandpa went to New Orleans, so we'll see. And speaking of which, now Raph, you've been in the media for a good amount of time. What made you want to be in the sports media industry, and then what has been your favorite thing you have ever experienced?
My favorite thing that I've ever experienced was I wanted to be in the sports talk business because I knew I could do it better than the others up in Pittsburgh. The only problem was I never got an opportunity. I never got lucky enough to get a job in full-scale radio. You understand what I'm getting at? And it took until about a year or two ago for me to get sponsors to actually buy my airtime to get on the air, because that's how bad I wanted to be on the microphone. That's how bad I love it. I love doing this. I love sitting here. I can do this 24/7. I love it. But right now, with my health and some other things, I can't really do it 24/7. I would love to. My wife would probably divorce me if I did. But I will say, I love sports. And the one thing, I don't know if you remember a coach named Joe Walton. He used to coach with the Jets. At the tail end of his career, he was the offensive coordinator under Chuck Noll. And he took over and built the Robert Morris University football program. And I went out there to interview him out at Robert Morris. And at the time, there was some bad blood between him and Bubby Brister when Bubby was the starting quarterback for the Steelers in the late 80s, early 90s. And what had happened was there was some conflict about his offense. Everybody, every media outlet in Pittsburgh was afraid to ask Joe Walton the question of his relationship with Bubby Brister. I was the only one that asked that question. And get this, he wasn't even mad at me about it. Everyone thought he was going to flip out or get angry. He simply answered the question nicely, and he was real respectable. And I asked him the question. I said, what happened between you and Bubby Brister? And you know what he told me? Bubby just couldn't get the offense, and Bubby was like Ben Roethlisberger was with Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians was more like a friend to Ben Roethlisberger. Ken Wisenhunt was more like a coach. Todd Haley was more like a coach to Ben. Okay, and Bubby had this Ben instinct that I want to be friends. I want to go have beers after the games and all that stuff like that. That's what Bubby did with Tom Moore, who is still coaching down in Tampa. 86 years old. God bless him. Still coaching down in Tampa. And he was Bubby's coach to start Bubby's career with the Steelers. And they used to go after work and after games and practice and have beers and sit and talk like pals. And Wisenhunt came from the Joe Gibbs tree. So Wisenhunt would say, no, to Ben Roethlisberger, I'm your coach. I'm not your friend. I'm your coach. Okay. And that was what Joe Walton did. Joe Walton was old school. And he said, I'm your coach. I'm not your friend. And Bobby wanted somebody like that, again, to be his friend. And I interviewed Joe Walton. I've interviewed several athletes. Bill Hillgrove, the longtime Steeler announcer. I interviewed him. I interviewed Tim Worley, former Pittsburgh Steeler. I met Craig Wolfley, former Pittsburgh Steeler. He's up with the Lord, Tunch Ilkin. I've met a lot of players. I also drove a cab for 15 years, so I had a lot of these guys in my cab. I will tell you the cheapest tip I ever got. You ready for this one, guys? Guess who the cheapest tip was? You're not going to believe it. I picked up Gary Sheffield.
What?
He was playing for San Diego. I picked up Gary Sheffield at a Ruth Chris Steakhouse in Pittsburgh. I took him to his hotel at the William Penn Hotel. $4.60 on the meter. He gave me $5 for it and said, keep the change.
Hey man, he just spent like $400 or $500 at Ruth Chris. That's probably why.
Hey Matt, what is it? $100 for a potato or something? I hear
It's
pretty much like
ridiculous.
an appetizer, about $110 for an appetizer. Yeah,
Yes, it's disgusting.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I can say I've been once.
We have one down here in Ocean City, right up by one of our golf courses. We have one. So, yeah.
You know, Ralph, I gotta let you know, my brother-in-law lives in Baltimore. He actually lives currently right now until the end of October. They live a mile away from the bridge. You can literally see where like his house from the bridge kind of thing. And, you know, I've been to Maryland. I think it's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Baltimore's a beautiful city. M&T Bank Stadium is gorgeous. And I get, you know, every time you talk about Ocean City, I know it because Zane has mentioned it quite a few times. And that's a bucket list to go up there again. We went up there when my wife was pregnant with our first daughter, Addison. And we haven't been up there since. So it's definitely a bucket list to go back up north and visit. I love just going and visiting, right. It's funny you said you've been in this for a long time, like with everything. Well, you know, I've done this too. And it really is just something about it that just hits differently. You know,
I love talking sports. I mean, I could tell you stories and we'd be here all night. I mean,
same.
You know, I used to be the Pittsburgh Penguins personal cab driver. I had Marc-Andre Fleury in my cab. I had
no way. You really had Fleury?
You're not going to believe who I took to the airport.
Who?
The late Herb Brooks. Remember him?
No way.
Are
you serious?
I kid you not. I had Alan Faneca in my cab. I mean,
you felt like a kid. You felt like a kid on Christmas morning, right? Come on, right?
Absolutely, you do. When you have people like I had the Star Trek crew in my cab.
Oh,
I had George Takei sitting in my front seat. I had George Takei, and the short woman and Schleifkoff, and I had him in. Yeah. So I mean, man. I've had wrestlers. I've had professional wrestlers in my cab. I mean, The Undertaker, Mabel. I had Paul Bear. I've had a Moolah. I've had some wrestlers in my cab. Met a few. I worked as a bellman at a hotel. I met Rey Mysterio. I met Batista. So I've met some wrestlers over the years too.
Now, before I let you go, I know you had kind of a little bit of a discussion today about Roman Reigns. Can you share with everybody here, please, the discussion you had about him?
Roman Reigns is in the hospital right now. He got destroyed by Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker at the Clash of the Paris event on Sunday. Roman Reigns made the stupidest mistake of his life, okay? And a lot of wrestlers are doing this, which is what bothers me. He won the match against Bronson Reed. He put Paul Heyman into a guillotine, which is a chokehold kind of thing. All right. Paul Heyman's in the hospital with a fractured or a ruptured larynx or something like that, something to that effect. He's in the hospital there. But Roman Reigns is in the hospital. And what he did wrong was he retrieved his shoes, which were seized by Bronson Reed. And instead of taking the shoes after he got done with Paul Heyman and getting out of Dodge, he decides to step up onto the announce table and start signing those shoes and throwing them into the fans. Gave Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker opportunities to not only just Bronson Reed to recover, but Braun Breaker to come out and spear him real bad to where he's got 3 fractured ribs.
Yeah, oh my word.
2 broken ribs or 3 fractured ribs and a broken rib or something to that effect. And he's in a hospital in bad shape. Okay. That could have been avoided if he would have took his tennis shoes and got out of Dodge. You see what I'm getting at? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Doing that, signing those shoes and playing around caused him to be in a hospital bed. And then his cousin, Jay Uso, is also in the hospital now because he got torn up last night on Raw, but he had gotten torn up even before his match with Seth Rollins. I mean,
common sense, don't do certain things.
In my opinion, Adam Pearce, the general manager of Raw, should be fired because this is the 4th time he's let Bronson Reed do those tsunami things and hurt wrestlers and put them in the hospital. Okay? when are you going to fire these guys or suspend them or do something to stop this? His show is out of control. I think the man should be fired. And, he kicked them out of the arena for the event after they did what they did to Reigns, but it didn't do any good because Seth Rollins came up with another plan, and he ended up winning the title again anyway. So, I mean, but, and then what happened last night, if those of you who watch Raw, what happened last night was his Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed at it again, went after Jey Uso, and now put him in the hospital. So, when's it going to stop? TKO was supposed to stop this stuff when they bought WWE. No more part-time wrestlers. No more the wrestlers control the shows. No more they were supposed to crack the whip with these GMs. And now Adam Pearce, I think he should be fired. I personally believe that because this is about the fourth wrestler that I've seen Bronson Reed take out and not in what he got suspended once. Big deal. Whoop-de-doo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that ain't
that's
much.
my thoughts on Roman Reigns. And I think Roman did it to himself. And I hate to say it like that, but he did it to himself by showboating with those shoes. If he would have picked up his shoes and got out of Dodge because he knew Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed would have recovered, boom, I would have been long gone. I've seen how many times people like Sami Zayn and some of the other wrestlers beat somebody and just roll out of the ring and get out of Dodge before you get hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Amen to that one.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, I mean, those of you who are wrestling fans, if I insulted you about Roman Reigns, I'm sorry, but that's the actual fact of the matter is he shouldn't have showboated like that.
You hit the nail on the head. Absolutely. You've got to think, because if you let your guard down on the simplest of things, it can cost you just like that.
Exactly.
Ralph,
And
can you let everybody know where they can find you?
Football games. It's like that in baseball. It's like that in sports. It's like that in life, Brandon. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's like that in life. Yep,
exactly. Absolutely. Can you let everybody know where they can find you, sir?
Absolutely. YouTube. I have my own YouTube channel, Ralph Williams RW Media. Check out my shows. Also, I'm on Facebook. I have a Twitter account. Please follow me on Twitter. I'm looking to get to 400 by the end of the year. I'm at 375. My Twitter account kind of goes up and down based on things I post. So, you know how that goes. Some people get offended by stuff I post and whatnot. But anyway, so I'm also on Tumblr, LinkedIn as well. I have 2 radio shows up in Pittsburgh on AM 1250, The Answer 92.5 on the FM dial, and 1250, The Answer, PGH.com. Every single Saturday. One starts at 8 a.m. It's the Ralph Williams, Tony Moreno show. We talk about local politics in Western Pennsylvania and the Pittsburgh area, and we talk about other topics as well in that area. We don't talk about national perspective. I do that on Wednesdays at 7:30, the Ralph's Opinion show and the Way I See It show starts at 7:30. I talk politics. I talk about national things, the good, the bad, and the ugly about our president. Lots to talk about tomorrow night, especially after some things that went on today. So lots to talk about tomorrow night as well. And on Saturday, I do a sports show called the Saturday Sports Show with myself and Leo Haggerty from Amped Up Sports. Also, I know you've had Peter Blake on the show. Peter and I used to do a wrestling show on Wednesdays, and we haven't been doing it lately. I know Peter. I know the guys at Amped Up Sports. They've been on my shows. Tuesday, 4 to 5 is Sports Corner Radio or Sports Corner show with me and Ralph Williams, Smoke, and Jim Frazier. And then immediately following that at 5 is Wrestle Talk. So, and I'm also hooked up with Pensman Sports and also with the Tiger Stripes Network and Brian Pettit, who you've had on the show here as well. And we all work together here. Now it's good to be amongst you guys here with the Sportz Nutz. And, so it's great to be here. And I will tell you this much. I'm not wrong often, but when I am wrong, I will admit I'm wrong. But I'm not wrong often. And I was wrong. I thought Florida State was going to get their butts handed to them. And they oh, my gosh. And then Miami and Notre Dame. I said this would be the test for Mario Cristobal to see what he was, can he win a big game against Notre Dame? And he beat him. So
that's right. He did. Ralph, man, I appreciate you always. We're going to talk again soon. Sound good?
Appreciate being here, and I'll have you guys coming on my shows.
We down for it 1,000%.
You got it, and it's Matt, was nice meeting you. Shane as well. And like I said, Shane, we'll talk later. I'll tell you exactly what,
Oh yeah, appreciate it.
Ralph,
Take
take care of
good
yourself.
idea when I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, he does.
All right, Ralph. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
take
you have
care.
a great one. Thank you. It was good to be amongst you guys. Thank you so much. Have yourself a great night. And please, by all means, be safe. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Guys, what a fantastic like Ralph is like he's phenomenal. I love his work. Sometimes he'll put a wrestling mask on, and it's really cool what he does. I absolutely enjoy him talking with him. Great as always. But guys, we still have a show to go on. Matt. We saw the college football season get into full swing. I can't wait to hear your perspectives on it. I got to give a quick congratulatory shout out, and we'll talk why. It is to the University of Hawaii in Arizona. We will talk about why. There's a reason why, okay? And it's actually huge news for the fact that both schools benefited from this showing on Saturday night. The Oregon Duck mascot, he had a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction. I don't know if you guys saw it, but we'll talk a little bit about that one. And I want to hear if you have ever, what is the worst thing you've ever been? Okay, so let me rephrase this. Okay. Now, of course, Oregon Ducks mascot had a wardrobe malfunction to start the season, lost his head, actually. They did recover, of course, but I want you guys to think back to a time when you witnessed or watched or was even a part of a game, any game, could be high school, college, pro, wherever, where the mascot had an epic fail. It can even be a wardrobe malfunction. You guys let me know. I have my own story. I can't wait to share that with you. And then, guys, Tulane. Shane, we're talking about Tulane. Now, this team, absolutely ridiculous how they played. They, as Matt likes to say very often, they mollywopped a Big Ten team at Northwestern. Could this team really go 12-0? We'll discuss that one. We do have a couple bonus points I want to share with you. Tarleton State pulled off a major upset over Army. Yeah, they got a $250,000 check to beat Army, but we'll talk about it because they're hitting the news for an interesting purpose. Brian Kelly does finally get his week 1 win against a potential college football playoff team. Is Clemson that bad, or was LSU just lucky? We'll talk a little bit about that one. Shane's got a sports story to talk about. Matt has a quick little story he wants to talk about. Have our honorable mentions. Shane's going to break down the other side of Saturdays with the Sportz Nutz, as well as money lines, that and a whole lot more. So, Matt, I know you don't have much time left. Let's go to you. What is your sports story that you would like to share with us, sir?
Indeed. I want to talk about the Alabama Crimson Tide. As Ralph alluded to, man, he didn't think Florida State was going to win. I'm pretty sure nobody thought Florida State was going to win, except for people that want the Florida State. I mean, hey. But I'm gonna point out Alabama. This might be the year where Alabama looks mediocre, because I just kind of want to point out a few games that they have on their schedule here. They play Florida. Afterwards, they see UL Monroe. Then they go to play Wisconsin. But after that, that's when as they like to say, things get real. You got UGA there. Then they play a tough Vanderbilt squad. Then followed by Missouri. Then you have a slew of about 4 or 5 ranked games. You have Tennessee, South Carolina, LSU, and Oklahoma. And I just don't see Alabama getting through that gauntlet unscathed. I kind of want to, and it's kind of a question that goes back to you, Brandon and Shane, man. Have you guys ever seen, in our lifetimes, have we ever seen Alabama look mediocre?
Yes. The Bowden era. I remember it very well. They looked very mediocre at times. They really did.
Yeah, the late 90s, mid to late 90s, they were mediocre. This is another situation. This was this kid's first game, kind of like I see kind of comparisons to the Arch Manning game. Great talents, great kids, great arms, but you put them in their first full-fledged start in a true road environment and a tough test at Doak Campbell and at the Horseshoe, man, that's that's a big kind of deal right there for you. As loud as it is, and as new to an offense that you are there, man, it was. I don't see that they're mediocre because that defense was just good. They've got some studs on defense, and it'll clean up big time. So we'll just have to see how that goes. But as far as mediocre, it's still a little early to tell that. We'll see in a few games, and we'll of course talk about it more through the season anyway.
You hit the nail on the head. Absolutely.
That QB they have Ty Simpson. He's a sophomore, junior.
I think he's a junior.
He's a junior, right?
I think junior, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I know he had. He wasn't bad. He had a decent game. I know he didn't throw any picks or He didn't throw any picks. But, whew, man. I mean, just.
But shout out to Castellanos for backing it up.
He talked the talk and he walked the walk.
Days and said, "Hey, Florida State, this is a different Florida State team that you're going to see."
He did.
Yep.
He
walked the walk and he talked the talk. Hey, real quick before we let you go, Matt, congratulations goes out to both Hawaii and Arizona. They did make history in the college football landscape, y'all, of national TV coverage. What does that mean? TNT aired the game. This is the first time TNT has aired a college football game. While Hawaii did look like they looked lost, it looked like they didn't know what they're doing. They did lose 40-6. Reports are it generated $5 million in TV revenue for both schools. For those who are bad at math, I'm one of them as well. But it's $2.5 million each. One goes to Hawaii, one goes to Arizona. Congratulations on that one. And obviously we know it's only going to continue to grow. The TV network expansion is going to happen. We're going to see more of other networks. Should Fox, CBS, or Disney, as for those who don't know, Disney owns ABC and ESPN. Do you think they should be trembling in their boots a little bit, knowing that, hey, smaller networks, they're about to smaller networks, they could realistically take some revenue away from them?
Well, I mean, every big quote unquote big brother of a genre or of a certain field, they're gonna have the younger upstarts or the younger brothers nipping at the heels all the time. It's gonna happen no matter where you go. Should they be worried? I don't think they should be too worried because there's a lot of teams out there. There's a lot of teams, there's a lot of stars, there's a lot of studs, there's a lot of popular head coaches. There's
538 to be exact, folks.
Exactly. There's a lot out there. Now, could we see some of these smaller teams starting to get a lot more buzz? Absolutely, man. And let's use Hawaii for example, man. Yes, it was the first time on TNT, man. And it generated a really good amount for both of the schools. It generated a really good amount. So I mean, some networks can take notice of this. You got networks like some of these cable networks or some of these streaming services, they take note of that. Like I can see a streaming service like Netflix or something, which they do with sports, but I can see them kind of reaching out and going after these smaller schools and maybe striking up deals with them to broadcast their games. I mean, we can see it coming, man. It's coming and it's going to be here soon. Where pretty soon every school is going to be on have their own kind of media outlet or their network where they broadcast their game. So we're going to see it soon, man.
What do you think, Shane?
Oh, yeah. Well, to tell you the truth, I didn't even make it to the Clemson game, so I didn't get to watch much of that Hawaii game at all. But
you didn't miss much.
Nick is going to club Nick.
I did catch up on some of it. They did re-air it again later on when I woke up early Sunday morning. They had it on re-air, and it was pretty good. But as we've covered it before, and as Matt said, we have multiple streaming networks out there now. The cable TV is kind of a thing of the past. Now everybody's gone streaming, wireless kind of deal, and that's made it available for conferences, mainly like the SEC, the ACC, who have deals and channels with ESPN now. Now you've got the old Pac-12 network was kind of what's kicked it off with as far as media rights go. But man, it's growing. I mean, you have now cable networks and CBS, ABC, and NBC being Paramount, Peacock, and the Disney platform. So, I mean, you've got all that available now, just at the touch of your fingertips, at your phone, at your computer, on the TV. I mean, it's just so readily available, and so many people want to watch their fandom. What they enjoy, whether it be murder mystery, docu-series type stuff that I know a lot of people out there watch, but everybody loves sports as well. So I could see exactly what Matt's saying, kind of each conference, I wouldn't say necessarily team, but each conference is going to have a streaming platform that's going to be airing specials and stuff like that, here in the near future.
You're absolutely right. And, for this is an example. Hawaii used to have to do pay-per-view with Spectrum Sports Hawaii. Well, it's gone. It's because they have became a full-time member of the Mountain West Conference. All the pay-per-view is gone. You get to watch them at all times. That's pretty good on them. All right, real quick. The Oregon Ducks mascot has had a wardrobe malfunction to start the season. Lost his head as he was running out. He quickly went back in. They put the hat back on him. But this kind of brings back memories to think back to a time when you guys witnessed, when you watched, or were even part of any game, where the mascot had an epic fail. Here's mine. Mine was, I was at a Hawks game years ago. There was a mascot. Matt knows this name very well, Skyhawk. Well, him and Harry the Hawk decided to skydive from the roof of then Phillips Arena, which everybody knows now is State Farm Arena. Yeah, Matt's kind of already seeing where this happened, and both of them ended up running into each other. And the person who was in that outfit ended up breaking his leg, and it was the Skyhawk mascot. They didn't have Skyhawk. I don't think they even have him anymore, honestly. I think he more does stuff with the College Park Hawks, if I'm not mistaken. But Matt, tell me a time when you witnessed or you were part of or you saw just something that was an epic fail for a mascot that really just made you go, did I really just see that?
Oh, yeah, man. It had to have been, I want to say 2005, 2000, somewhere around that area. But I was at a Georgia Tech game, man, and they had their big yellow jacket, man. He had to do something on the field. I can't remember what it was, but he was standing. I know he was on the cart standing, and I guess the person on the golf cart zoomed off, and he just fell off. So, I mean, yeah, it was pregame. It was something pregame, man. It was something pregame. So they had to, I mean, it's not funny, but when you see them have to take a mascot off on a stretcher, man,
you can't not laugh,
It looks funny.
You really can't not laugh.
I mean, of course they took the headpiece off, man. But you see the guy on the stretcher with the whole B suit, and it's like, dang. So I mean, just that, and of course, man. I mean, speaking of Harry the Hawk, man, he's just one of them funny guys, man. Funny mascots, man, especially when he's taking pictures with people. Then he takes his beak and just eats them over the head. He always says that with people, man. Yeah. So I mean, hey, man, yeah. I mean, you see it. And of course, high school mascots, depending on your high school. But hey, man, that one for me, that would be that one, the one with Georgia Tech.
What about you, Shane?
Oh, well, I can remember back 98 to 2000, somewhere in that range. I can't really
you still remember that far back?
I'm saying you're only like 2 or 3 years old, dude.
You were like 2 years old.
I was like 9, 10. But
Matt.
but we went and did a whole pig picking tailgate thing with my dad and one of his buddies from college, and up there at Carter Finley Stadium at NC State. They were taking on East Carolina, and the mascots got near each other, and they didn't, it was playful at first, but then you started to realize it wasn't so playful.
You watched a brawl.
Yeah. Pretty soon it turned into a full UFC. Heads literally flying off.
How could you not laugh at this? Did you record
series.
this at least?
98 to 2000, really?
They had video cameras.
They had the big old things.
I have my video camera still. Doesn't work, but I still have it.
Yeah, I was. I also was like 9 or 10, so I wasn't entrusted with expensive equipment. But man, that's the best one I can remember. And then there's a couple other ones that I've seen on TV here lately, with like the BYU Cougar when he did his backflip and it just kind of came off at that time. Yeah, that was one of the recent ones that I've seen that I felt was pretty enjoyable.
Matt, I don't know if you know this. There's actually 3 people who do Harry the Hawk. One's a girl. She's a young girl. Then you have an older guy. Then you have your normal guy. And they alternate throughout the game. So one will usually they'll stay down underneath like the court area, and then they'll come on, and then they'll do like their mid-game celebration. Then they go away. But the other 2, they're always going around State Farm Arena, and those are the male and female that do that. I didn't know if you knew that.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Matt has to leave. He has a little bit of work he has to attend to, but Matt, man, thank you. I'll see you on Friday, son. Are you gonna be here tomorrow with us?
Yeah. I'll be up here with Money Lines. I gotta be here.
Well, Matt, what do you tell everybody real quick before you go?
Yeah, guys, don't get flagged, man. Just follow the rules. Don't get flagged, and keep it moving. But yeah, guys, talk to you guys later. Y'all have a good one.
All right, Matt, take care. All right, so Shane, I got to continue in this next one. Tulane, man, like absolutely mollywopped, as Matt would say. They mollywopped Northwestern 23-3. Tulane, man, we've been high on them for a while. Now they do have South Alabama next. Look, South Alabama is not a push in the park. They always like to make things interesting, but could we see Tulane go 12-0 and actually crash the college football playoff?
Well, I think that we're going to see them. I wouldn't say crash the college football playoff, because I wholeheartly believe with their schedule, the way that they have aligned themselves, maybe a 12-0 record. If they do that, then yeah, they're you're looking at a top 3-4 team because of the teams that you've played. 3 of your 4 non-conference games are against Power 4 opponents, and 1 ranked Power 4 opponent, and that at Ole Miss. With that being said, you've got that alignment to put yourself in the position to be in that college football playoff, even with the loss to a non-conference ranked Ole Miss. 11-1 or 12-1 with the conference championship. Of that group of 4, and having played those teams, the rankings are going to favor you because of the tough out of conference schedule that you have played. The thing that surprised me was their defense was, they flew to the ball. It seemed, it was great to see. Of course, Retzloff out there, man, he is a monster. Combined like 260 something yards between the air and the ground. Man, if he can lead this offense like that, and make it through this tough schedule, even with the possibility of even upsetting Ole Miss, with him at the helm and a few games under the belt, barring the injury bug. I could see us riding this wave to the college football playoff, and not only two.
Love
there,
the pun, by the way, that you said.
Yeah, but not only 2 there, but being a team that could make some noise in the playoff.
I like that because little schools, they may be little, but don't count them out. They can absolutely do the thing at any given time, as we all know too. And also, I'm so glad we mentioned it real quick. Tarleton State, they did pull up a major upset against Army. Remember, Tarleton State, they're an FCS team. We've seen a lot of FCS schools play spoiler. Everybody knows the most memorable one was Michigan and App State. App State with the block heard round the nation. They blocked the field goal and pretty much ended Lloyd Carr's career at Michigan. And congratulations to Tarleton State, which, by the way, folks, in case you don't know, Tarleton State is having conversations with several FBS conferences, the Mountain West Conference, the All-American, and the Sun Belt, and Conference USA have had conversations. We will see if they get the invite. And then also got to give a quick shout out to Brian Kelly. He did finally get his first win against a potential college football playoff team. Shane, Clemson's not that bad. Ella just hit the right points, didn't they?
Clemson's not that bad. They had some miscues late in the second half that eventually led to kind of downfall both defensively and offensively. For it being a home game, the offense, I thought would have come out and performed a lot better than what it did.
Yes.
Sure. I think it's the first game. They're both good teams. Right now you're looking at it, and is LSU or Texas the best SEC team right now?
That's a good question.
So that's kind of what you're looking at right now. When it comes down to that and that first win for LSU, but it's good to see him actually get it done.
Absolutely. Hey, real quick, just do a quick synopsis. Let everybody know what the other side of Saturdays is going to be about.
Well, we're going to highlight, the lesser known football side of Saturdays. Whether it be HBCUs, Division II, Division III teams. We're gonna, kind of highlight the experience, kind of highlight, kind of the juggernauts, what you would say of the sport, and their, respective rights, So we're just going to highlight some of that stuff, and I think it's going to be a great time. I got a couple weeks before it kicks off, so we're really excited to bring it to you, and hopefully y'all enjoy it, and if you guys anybody out there went to one of these smaller colleges and had a good experience, and go ahead and share it with us. That way, we'll be able to make sure to highlight it. And, these are kind of the experiences that we want to highlight in the segment. So we look forward to bringing that to y'all for sure.
Absolutely. Cannot wait for that one. Hey, it's time for everybody's favorite. Yes, we're talking about honorable mentions. Dun, 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 dun. Started off tonight. The Minnesota Lynx, y'all, set a new win total record for the WNBA. They are now officially 32-8. And they only have, I think, 3 or 4 games to go. Could they actually hit the 35 win mark? Also, shout out to the Atlanta Dream, by the way. Atlanta Dream, they're in a virtual tie with the Las Vegas Aces for the number 2 overall seed in the WNBA playoffs. Could this be a potential WNBA finals matchup between Minnesota and Atlanta? We shall see. Shane, what's your first honorable mention?
Well, I'm going to say shout out to Connor Zilic, Xfinity driver for Junior Motorsports. A couple weeks back, had an incident in Victory Lane after winning at Watkins Glen and broke his collarbone. Just removed from surgery a couple weeks ago. Now back out in Portland this past weekend. Went out and won. Some say controversial fashion. Some, it was ruled a win by NASCAR. Said it was clean. So, congratulations to him. I believe this is his seventh win on the season, maybe 8th for that car itself. But also shout out to him because last week he also announced his move to the Cup Series with Trackhouse Racing. Next year, so it's going to be good to see that young man at the Cup level. He's got plenty of talent, and I think he might be the one to make that next move as the kid.
Hey, absolutely. I mean, it's so funny, by the way, to hear you say that young man.
Hey, 18, 19 years old.
Okay, so you could say that because, but yeah. Hey guys, I'm holding this tool right here. The legend has come to an end. Not so fast, my friends. Yes, the end of an era has happened. Lee Corso called his final ever ESPN game day, and he did. It was with the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Texas Longhorns, in which Lee Corso chose the Buckeyes. It's Lee. Thank you so much for all those great memories you did. It'll never be the same again without you. Enjoy your retirement, and thank you for helping shape the landscape of college football for all of our fans. Shane, what's your next honorable mention, sir?
Well, congratulations to Michael Parsons. That they finally the deal is finally done. 4 years, $188 million. Highest non-paid quarterback or non-quarterback pay in league history. This is from all inclinations. This is kind of one of those things that may push Green Bay over the top, as you will say. And given that fact, Vegas is already talking about it, but probably get into a little bit of that tomorrow on Moneyline. So check us out then for that talk.
Yeah, and also for those who don't know, Micah Parsons also has a sprained vertebrae. It could require back surgery. So, did Dallas know something we didn't know? That's for Jerry Jones. UCLA's Nico Lamalavier, whatever you want to call him. God, he looked absolutely dreadful in his debut with the Bruins. 11 of 22, 136 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Man, I don't know. I think Tennessee dodged a bullet. What do you think, Shane?
Oh, yeah. He took less money and then went to UCLA with a crowd of, 30,000 instead of 110,000 at Neyland. He's regretting that decision now, I do believe.
What is your next honorable mention, sir?
Well, honorable mention that I want to put out there is, man, September leads to October. So, the MLB, as we mentioned earlier in the show, is winding down. But man, there's 3 great races that you guys need to go check out. That are going to be real good to watch down the stretch. One for the NL West between the Dodgers and the Padres. That's going to come down to it. They've already played all their games against each other. The Dodgers have the tiebreaker there, but they're only 2 games ahead of the Padres. So we'll have to see what goes on there. Next race is going to be the one for the NL East and the wild card. We've hyped that one up as Braves fans, but we're hyping up next year's train right now. So, but you've got the Mets, who are 6 games back from the Phillies and 4 games ahead of the Reds in the respective standings in the East and the wild card. They have series with both teams coming up here in the next month, and could make a big swing for that East crown if they can win out, or at least put the Reds away in the wild card as well. So that's the interesting one. But the third one is probably the most ridiculous race that we've seen all year in the AL East, between the Blue Jays, the Red Sox, and the Yankees. They still have to play each other in a sense to finish out the year, but their series are already clinched between each of them. And the Yankees are kind of the odd man out in that tiebreaker right now. So,
come on, Yankees.
The Yankees are 3 games back from the Blue Jays now, and with the Red Sox being 3.5. So it's really going to get tight going down the stretch for that one as well. But man, we're sitting here, we're getting close to playoff baseball, and I love it.
Yes. Shout out goes to Furman. They got the W. They beat William and Mary by a score, by a score of 23-21. It's the first time in 3 attempts that Furman has upset William and Mary. Shane, what is your last honorable mention, sir?
Oh, well, shout out to Lenore Sellers. For Virginia Tech, it didn't go the way I wanted it to, or they wanted it to. But South Carolina got the win in Atlanta. And after the game, pure show of class, what kind of young man he is. Went and handed the game ball to Frank Beamer.
That's cool.
Yeah. Shout out to him, and it was great to see that, and especially you get to see just the type of players that these coaches and this bloodline is leading in the life itself.
You're right. And I have technically had 2, but one is not a full honorable mention. Last honorable mention goes to Presbyterian College. They knocked off the Mercer Bears by a score of 15-10. Why is that important? Mercer's the number 11th ranked team in the nation in FCS, and they lose to literally the smallest school in all of college football. Presbyterian's a very tiny school. It's only like an hour down the road from where I'm at. So shout out to PC for getting it. And then last but not least, shout out again to Tulane, but not because of their win. Rather, it's been 20 years, y'all, since Katrina happened. Now, they did request to wear the white jerseys against Northwestern, but Northwestern kind of said no. But I will tell you this. Shout out, though, to the entire city of New Orleans. Shout out to the entire state of Louisiana. And look, if you've never had the opportunity to go, there are still areas, even to this day, that have never been rebuilt from Hurricane Katrina. And also want to give a quick shout-out reminder that 6 years ago, Hurricane Dorian, the strongest hurricane ever recorded in world history, it slapped the Bahamas with 200-mile-per-hour wind gusts. 200-mile-per-hour winds with gusts of over 230. It's the worst hurricane that's ever been recorded. Shout out to everybody even to this day, there's still a lot of indications that Dorian did forever shape the landscape of the Bahamas. Bahamas is a beautiful place to go, but have to give of course, got to give a shout out though to all those in New Orleans. And regardless if New Orleans Saints are my rival or not, New Orleans people, they're amazing people. They're resilient. And absolutely got to give a huge shout out to them. And just know that we are always standing behind the city of New Orleans, state of Louisiana, everything, because of what they went through. Shane, you agree with me though, right? You're tipping your ball cap to New Orleans, right?
Oh yeah. I went down there pre-Katrina back in 2001, but I haven't been back since, and I'd hate to go back and see how the place was compared to what it is now. You see pictures, but till you really go visit, it really wouldn't probably do it justice what you see.
There are still areas that will never be rebuilt. People, they don't even allow you to go to these areas anymore because of how much death and destruction they went through, and such a horrific event that happened. As you guys know, we're in the thick of hurricane season. There are indications that there are going to be some more rough days ahead. So just love those you can. Guys, it's been a fantastic episode. Real quick, want to let you guys know, again, tomorrow, Money Lines episode 2 starts. Can't wait for that one. We will have all 3 of our beautiful faces on there. Myself, Shane, and Matt will be on there, as you heard Matt say. And then this Friday, we have a jam-packed episode. I'm not going to go too details because it's a lot I'm still working on. I can't wait to share with you guys. Next Tuesday, Mr. Invincible himself, Vince Papali, joins the show. I'm absolutely beyond excited. One of my questions is definitely going to be like, what was it like to meet Mark Wahlberg and have him play you and that kind of thing? Friday, September 12th. Currently, it is slated. There will be no episode because it is mine and Cassie's 10-year wedding anniversary. However, there is a outside chance that UC Irvine might come on and talk basketball. And there could also be Sacramento State, where I'll let you know. As of right now, don't plan on there being an episode, but there's always that possibility. Tuesday, September 16th, The University of Wisconsin-Whitewater is going to join our show. They're going to talk about how it is to be a perennial powerhouse in the D3 level, and if they could ever maybe move up to the FBS level, which conference would they like to be? And then, as you guys know, Wednesday, September 17th, we have episode 3 of Money Lines. And then Friday, September 19th, the Morehead City Marlins Collegiate Summer Baseball League is going to join us. Tuesday, September 23rd, the Augusta Pro Hockey Team, which means we could have Tim Tebow. All the owners could be on the show at the same time. We will stay tuned. If we get Tim Tebow, we're going to let you know right away, as we always do. And then last but not least, Tuesday, September the 30th, Don't Mind Piper. She's meowing. She's talking with her toy. The Kentucky Barrels Arena Football Team, they are going to join the show. Their inaugural season starts in 2026. Go give them a follow on Facebook and everything else and just shout them out. This is a big moment for them. They're going back to their heritage for the Kentucky Bourbon. It's the Barrels. Great name for them indeed. Guys, we have had a fantastic episode. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. I think we peaked at like 760 people tuned in. We have significantly declined, and we absolutely appreciate all you guys for tuning in. We appreciate Ralph for coming on our show. It absolutely means the world to us. Shout out to Tiger Sharps Media, which I got to let you guys know, we have a new special guest contributor. Yes, Brian Pettit of Tiger Sharp Media is going to tune in every once in a while to talk to us about the landscape of NASCAR and Clemson sports in general, and we are thrilled to have him as a special guest contributor. With that being said, for everybody who has tuned into the show, Shane, what do you tell everybody?
Oh, yeah, as always, it's been a pleasure, and we appreciate everybody out there listening, and, may the good Lord bless you. Peace, love, and bacon grease.
Peace, love, and bacon grease indeed. And guys, as I always tell you, peace up, A-Town down Y. Greatest sports city there ever was. You guys have a wonderful evening. We will see you tomorrow at 7:30. Money Lines, episode 2. Let's see if Shane and Matt and myself can maybe earn you a little extra dough. You guys have a wonderful evening. Enjoy this outro, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night.